If you've been tracking the price of Pi IOUs on centralized exchanges lately, you've probably felt a little motion sickness. We are seeing wild peaks and deep valleys that make the asset look completely erratic. Add to that the mounting frustration within the community over the mainnet migration. We are closing in on a 2-year delay, with countless users staring at their screens, indefinitely stuck on step 9 of the checklist. Looking at this combination of volatile exchange data and radio silence on migration, a lot of people naturally assume the worst, that the Pi core team is stalling out or failing to deliver on their original promises. But we need to ask if the chaos we see on these trading platforms actually reflects the true value of the network, or if it is simply a loud, distracting false signal. The reality is that the visible market turbulence and long migration delays aren't markers of failure. They are simply the tip of the iceberg, obscuring a massive, deliberate infrastructure build happening quietly underneath the surface. To understand what the core team is actually building, we first have to look at how traditional finance operates. Stock Market 1.0 relies heavily on abstract expectations. Investors buy into a company based on brand prestige and public trust, hoping future profits match current sentiment. But that abstraction creates a severe vulnerability. Because a company's market value is tied so closely to public perception, a single bad headline or a negative PR event can instantly wipe out billions of dollars in tangible capital. Basing global investment decisions entirely on the shifting sands of public sentiment is a highly risky, increasingly outdated model. Global finance is reaching a breaking point. It desperately needs a new operating system, one rooted in concrete, physical reality rather than fragile public perception. This brings us to real-world assets, or RWA, a concept many analysts are calling Stock Market 2.0. This is the process of taking a physical, tangible asset, like a commercial skyscraper, and converting its ownership into digital tokens. Through the use of smart contracts on a blockchain, a single physical building can be split into thousands of microshares. This allows multiple people to own a verified, fractional piece of a real asset, rather than bet in on a company's abstract reputation. This transition to a tokenized world requires a specific, highly complex technical infrastructure that the current cryptocurrency market is only beginning to develop. This requirement explains the focus on the V26 upgrade and the deployment of smart contracts designed to host tokenized assets, suggesting a shift in Pi's development toward these real-world applications. The IRAs and slide tokens recently tested on the Pi Launchpad provide the first concrete evidence of this ecosystem in action, moving the concept of fractional ownership from theory to a testable reality. Pi is constructing a launchpad for the tokenization of physical assets, a move that prioritizes long-term utility over the typical cycle of speculative coin dumps. This strategy makes total sense when you zoom out to the macroeconomic landscape. Major U.S. financial institutions and global asset managers are actively pivoting their own operations toward RWA tokenization right now. Pi Network's seemingly delayed roadmap is entirely intentional. They are aligning their ecosystem directly with the current trajectory of modern global finance. For the everyday user, the Pi they have mined functions as a digital entry point into this system of fractional ownership, separating it from the simple price speculation of the current exchange IOUs. The long wait for the open mainnet is the meticulous, necessary construction period required to build Stock Market 2.0 from the ground up. When the gates finally open and this utility goes live, the early price swings on centralized exchanges will fade into background noise. The true value of the network will become clear, and the reward for the pioneers will be exactly proportional to their patience.